So when the governor said, you need to shock your body, I don't think he meant this. I'm James Instagram, and this is YouTube channel Positive Destruction.
What do you think about that? I turned myself into a pickle! I'm Pickle Rick!
So this community is full of critical thinkers, and many of you will be skeptical of the significance and effectiveness of zapping yourself with pads. You know, rather than just working hard in your training consistently over time with an increasing challenge. But hold on, because there are celebrities endorsing these muscle stimulators. Famous people such as Ronaldo's clone, Serge Constance, apparently he's a fitness influencer.
Back to work, taking 2 caps of thermo fuel to maximize the fat burning during my workout.
Don't be ridiculous.
This dude is enjoying it way too much. Them sunbathing gains though. Interesting fact, Denise Richards used the ab toning belt before she fought off the giant spiders. Pew, pew, pew is the sound that she made. These people owe Zoolander a royalty check. I could do this all day. Get shocked is close to the phrase needed for these images. So surely, due to the prevalence of these machines making dollar bills from dope pictures, trademark Gavin McGregor, there must be science to back up what these companies and these celebrities are pushing and endorsing. Surely the evidence supports it.
Wrong.
And so world record holding powerlifter Dr. Steffi Cohen recently made a video about this topic, hence why I put her on the thumbnail. There is a method behind my madness, and Steffi made a very nice informational video about muscle stimulators. To be clear, she was not using them or promoting them, she was discussing the topic, and essentially her conclusion was that these devices are not supported by evidence-based science. However, she is open to more developments in the future. And so it was a very nice video by Dr. Cohen. However, Steffi, your jokes could use a little polishing up. And if you need someone experienced with polishing, I'm your man. Just saying, think about it. So there are so many shock puns I could use to make this video cringeworthy. So let's just look at these products and the claims that the companies selling them make, because like a Dr. Jim Stoppani comment, in themselves, they are an absolute joke. And so straight away, what I need to say is whenever you look at a product like this, you have to be clear about the purpose for the product, the marketing claims made, the causation made. And in these cases, people are marketing muscle stimulators for many different parts of the body, predominantly the abs because they make them dollar bills, and they're sold on the basis of increasing muscle size, increasing strength, and also aiding in recovery and soreness. And the reason I say that is because at the end of this video, I am going to give you a caveat into how some of these machines may actually be useful for a very specific purpose, for a very special population. But that ain't what they're being mass marketed towards. And so what is the scientific definition for these EMS type devices? You press a button, boom, gains. I think that is the scientific explanation being taught in universities now. And here are some of the purported benefits, as Dr. Cohen explains in her video, that companies are making in relation to these machines. And so let's look at the science, and you won't be surprised to know that none of these claims are strongly supported by scientific data. When you look at ab stimulators and they're trying to sell you the image of the six-pack. However, achieving visible abs is done by reducing body fat. Of course, you can strengthen your core and abdominal muscles through different forms of exercise. However, be clear that the images shown are people at very low body fat levels. And so let's look into the grand claim that these devices can increase muscle growth. There isn't data to support this whatsoever. Anyone claiming this is making completely unsupported claims. And if people make money from unsupported claims, that's where it gets kind of shady. And it's very simple to think about the science of muscle growth and hypertrophy. I have a whole series on muscle hypertrophy. Please watch that, as it's genuinely one of my favorite playlists on this channel. But when you think about muscle growth, we can take it from a muscle fiber level. Yes, these devices are artificially activating muscle fibers. But when we think about muscle growth, there are other factors apart from just muscle recruitment per se. For example, a dynamic contraction, the eccentric and concentric, the stretch and the squeeze. When you perform exercises, these dynamic contractions heavily linked to muscle hypertrophy. And there are so many other principles of training, such as progressive overload, which these devices cannot initiate. Ooh, this one can actually reciprocate different types of training, apparently, which it can't, because it's horseshit. Even despite them marketing them in this way, different forms of training and progressive overload have a unique stimulus to your body. It's very, very problematic to think you can hack that and reciprocate it in an artificial and passive way. Fire in the hole. And the same holds true of strength. We have a mixed bag of research when it comes to strength gains from these machines, but in any case, research which has shown some sort of strength gains are insignificant, and those pieces of research actually of course recommend that you have a resistance training protocol with the machines. They're not a replacement. However, there's also research to suggest that they have no significance to strength gain. But the supposed reason that this would increase strength is due to the increase in the firing rates of your muscle fibers. These machines are activating those muscle fibers and increasing the efficiency of this motor unit recruitment. And this essentially is what rate coding is, the kind of frequency, how fast the nerve impulses are activating those motor units, those muscle fibers to produce force. And again, I have so many videos on muscle fibers. Please watch them. I'll link them down below for anyone that's interested in looking at the human body in a slightly deeper, more microscopic level. But again, in a nutshell, we do not have an evidence-based support for the idea that these machines will in any way significantly increase your strength. And then the last claim of decreasing muscle soreness and increasing recovery, again, not evidence-based whatsoever. And so let me just touch on Ronaldo, undeniably a great athlete, one of the greatest football players of all time, except when he scored against Portsmouth, you got lucky Ronnie, who makes tons of money just from the game alone and has so many other endorsements. The fact that a sports person like this is promoting a device which essentially promotes a lack of physical activity and exertion to create some sort of results ain't a good thing. This sort of stuff is absolute nonsense, and it doesn't matter how many photo shoots and videos he makes promoting it in different ways. It's still nonsense, Ronnie. And I know Ronnie's not watching this, so when I address him directly, that's just my crazy kicking in. And for the one guy in the comments who's going to say, but bro, Ronnie's got abs and he uses this machine. Causation. Behave yourself, young man. Elite athletes like Ronaldo burn a redonkulous amount of calories each day. Professional football players have a very controlled level of body fat, very controlled levels of fitness, heavily supported by sports science. I don't like products which promote the lack of physical activity and challenge to achieve some sort of goal. I think it's counteractive to the fitness and health lifestyle where we're constantly trying to challenge ourselves. And this can be physically and mentally with exercise and nutrition. And so the only stuff I dislike more than these types of gadgets are these YouTubers who make the videos, this is my last ever video. And then they continue to make more videos after reinvigorating their channel through that clickbait video. If I ever make a video like that, you have my permission to slap me in the face with an ab belt.
Less of the ab stimulator, more of the simulator going on here.
And at this point of the video, I feel it apt to say, my name is Maximus Decimus Meridius. Are you not entertained? Because I'm finding these products and the claims made absolutely hilarious. I'm literally dying myself with laughter, looking at the absolute nonsense that's being spread in the fitness industry by people trying to grab dollar bills from impressionable people who don't yet have the knowledge and experience to understand why they may not have achieved their goals. And so very seriously, I despise these types of products and marketing. I despise this misleading, manipulative influence in the fitness industry. And the larger this channel grows, the more and more I'm going to continue to hammer and positively destruct these types of things. And to the celebrities and fitness celebrities and models endorsing these, is the paycheck worth more than your integrity? And so I don't care about people making claims online, people who use these machines and then give some sort of anecdotal support for these machines. Well, I felt good after I used these machines. Oh, I increased my muscle size, etc. You cannot say that using your opinion by testing these for a few weeks or a month or whatever it is. There are too many variables involved in training, muscle growth, strength gains, recovery. There are too many variables of training and nutrition and lifestyle involved. You cannot anecdotally, in your opinion, take this machinery and give direct causation to them. It's not good information. And Dr. Cohen indeed does touch on this in her video, and she explains that it's subjective in nature, these types of videos made. However, here is the caveat for people who have some form of critical illness or some form of disease, and they need to preserve muscle mass, and they are unable to perhaps perform some sort of resistance training protocol. Then this artificial passive stimulation of muscle fibers may have application, but that's a very special population. That's a very serious issue, and I'm not informed on that specific area. And so what I'm not going to do is just Google it and project it to you, aka fitness YouTube it, and pretend I know in depth about this area, as it's a very special area. People who work in this area are absolutely admirable and role models, in my opinion. People who rehabilitate people suffering from injury or recovering from injury or with disease. But that is most certainly, for me, the most interesting application of these types of devices. And so I'm going to go now and print this picture of PewDiePie for my wall of fame. Oh, sorry, forgot to say, this video is sponsored by the Ab Stimulator 1 million, where paychecks are worth more than integrity. I will see you soon.